As we step into 2025, we stand on the threshold of new possibilities, a time when the choices we make and the habits we cultivate can set the stage for a life of greater meaning and tranquility. But how do we approach the chaos of life with composure? How do we build a foundation for growth that is resilient in the face of change? This is where Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of inner strength and resilience, can serve as our guide. The purpose of this video is not merely to inspire, but to provide you with practical actions drawn from Stoic wisdom, habits that you can incorporate into your life to thrive in 2025 and beyond. Each habit we discuss here is more than a simple suggestion. It's a principle to live by, a step toward a life of purpose, clarity, and resilience. If you stay with us till the end, you will not only discover these powerful habits, but also understand how to apply them daily to transform your life from within. The Stoics, with their practical philosophy, taught that it is through our daily habits and actions that we shape our destiny. So, as you listen, ask yourself, what habit resonates most with you? What small step can you take today to embrace the power of Stoicism? Let's explore these Stoic practices together and unlock the keys to a more virtuous life. 1. Do something difficult. Step outside your comfort zone and grow stronger. The first habit we'll dive into is the practice of deliberately doing something difficult. You might wonder, why should we seek out discomfort when life itself already presents so many challenges? The answer lies in the very essence of Stoicism, which teaches us that our growth is not found in avoiding hardship, but in embracing it. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, would deliberately plunge himself into the icy waters of the Tiber River. It wasn't because he enjoyed the chill, but because he wanted to demonstrate to himself that he was in control of his body, his will, and his mind. When we face something difficult, we declare to ourselves, "I am more than my fears, more than my comforts." How can we practice this habit today? Ask yourself, what are you avoiding because it feels uncomfortable? Is there a conversation you've been putting off, a project you haven't started, or a goal you've been too afraid to pursue? Doing something difficult doesn't mean you need to dive into the cold waters of a river like Seneca. It could be something as simple as waking up an hour earlier, speaking up in a meeting, or beginning a workout routine. When you take on a challenge, you might feel discomfort, but within that discomfort lies growth. It's not about the challenge itself. It's about asserting your will over your instincts. It's a reminder that you are capable of facing discomfort and emerging stronger. The power of persistence. One of the beautiful aspects of this practice is the way it builds persistence. Each time you willingly engage in something difficult, you build mental and physical resilience. You develop a mindset that doesn't shy away from adversity, but welcomes it as an opportunity to grow. This is the true power of Stoicism, not the avoidance of struggle, but the mastery of it. Reflect on this. What challenges will you embrace? Take a moment to think, what is one difficult thing you will commit to doing in the coming days? Share it in the comments below. This is not only a way to hold yourself accountable, but also to inspire others in our community to take on their own challenges. Remember, it is in these moments of difficulty that we forge the strength to face life's larger adversities. As you continue to practice doing difficult things, you'll realize that these challenges no longer seem insurmountable. They become steps in your journey, shaping you into a person of greater fortitude. With every challenge overcome, you solidify the habit of resilience. Let us now move from the realm of challenges to that of time, our most precious resource. 2. Free up precious resources. Time is your most valuable asset. Use it wisely. The second habit centers on time management, a concept that Epictetus and other Stoics emphasized greatly. Ask yourself, how much time do you truly have in a day for what matters most? How often do you find yourself scrolling mindlessly through your phone or engaging in activities that don't add value to your life? Reclaiming your time. Time is fleeting, and as Stoicism teaches, we must make a conscious effort to free ourselves from distractions that do not serve us. It's not that these distractions are inherently bad, but rather that they pull us away from more meaningful pursuits. Imagine if, for every hour you spent on something unimportant, you instead dedicated that time to learning, connecting with loved ones, or working on a personal project. How different would your life be? The practice of awareness. To free up precious time, start by becoming more aware of how you spend it. For the next week, track your activities. Write down how much time you devote to different tasks, work, social media, exercise, hobbies, and rest. Be honest with yourself. When you see it on paper, you may be surprised at how much time is lost to trivialities. From here, identify the non-essentials and commit to reducing or eliminating them. This is not about living a rigid life devoid of leisure, but about being intentional. The Stoic approach isn't about doing more, it's about doing what truly matters. Set boundaries and priorities. Create boundaries around activities that consume your time. Limit social media usage, designate specific times for checking emails, and avoid aimlessly browsing the internet. Use the time you reclaim for things that enrich your life, like reading a book, engaging in a meaningful conversation, or pursuing a passion project. Take action. What will you do with your time? Now take a moment to reflect. What activities consume your time but offer little in return? How will you make time for what is truly important in 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments. The practice of freeing up your time is not just about managing hours. It's about living a life of intentionality and purpose. With time freed up, we can now move to the idea of change, another element that is as inevitable as time itself. 3. Stop fearing change. Embrace change as a path to growth. Change is a constant, and yet so many of us fear it. We resist it, clinging to the familiar, even when the familiar no longer serves us. But what if we looked at change through the lens of Stoicism, which teaches us that change is not an enemy, but a teacher? Marcus Aurelius reflected often on the nature of change, understanding it as a necessary component of life. He wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. If everything around us is in a state of flux, then resisting change is resisting life itself." How can we embrace change? Begin by viewing change not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth. What changes are you facing in 2025? Are you starting a new job, moving to a new city, or perhaps undergoing a personal transformation? Instead of resisting these changes, welcome them as chances to learn, adapt, and grow. When change comes, it often brings discomfort. But remember, discomfort is not something to be avoided, it is a sign of growth. Just as a tree sways with the wind, bending but not breaking, we too must learn to be flexible. Develop a mindset of adaptability. Adopting a mindset of adaptability means being open to new experiences and ideas. It means accepting that while we cannot control the external world, we can control our response to it. This is a core tenet of Stoicism, focusing on what is within our power. When faced with change, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? What new opportunities might this bring? Embrace change not just as a necessary part of life, but as a valuable ally on your journey of growth. Reflect. What changes are you facing? Think about the changes that lie ahead for you in 2025. How will you approach them differently this year? What mindset shifts will help you embrace the unknown? Share your insights with us in the comments below. The more we practice embracing change, the more resilient we become in the face of life's uncertainties. As we learn to adapt to change, it is important that we also structure our lives in a way that supports our growth. This brings us to the next habit. 4. Create a routine. Turn chaos into order through a structured routine. A life without routine can often feel chaotic and unproductive. The Stoic philosophers, particularly Seneca, understood the importance of structure in our daily lives. He said, "Life without a design is erratic, recognizing that a well-crafted day leads to a well-lived life." The power of routine lies not in its rigidity, but in its ability to bring order to chaos, providing a framework for our actions. Why is routine so important in Stoicism? In Stoicism, the focus is on what we can control. While we cannot dictate the events that unfold each day, we can choose how we respond to them. Having a routine allows us to prepare our minds and bodies for whatever may come. It establishes a pattern of behavior that makes us resilient, disciplined, and able to maintain inner tranquility even when faced with unexpected challenges. But how do you create a routine that truly aligns with your nature and goals? It's not about copying someone else's schedule. It's about crafting one that resonates with your life. Crafting your ideal routine. To create a routine that works for you, start by asking yourself a few questions. When are you most productive? Are you energized in the morning? Or do you find that your creativity peaks later in the day? Understanding your natural rhythm will help you design a routine that maximizes your productivity. Next, prioritize tasks that matter most. For instance, start your day with activities that set a positive tone, such as exercise, meditation, or creative work. These actions help build momentum, allowing you to tackle more demanding tasks later on. Incorporate breaks and downtime as well. A good routine isn't solely about work. It should also include time for rest and relaxation. Remember, the Stoic approach to life is about balance, knowing when to push forward and when to step back. The value of consistency. Once your routine is in place, consistency becomes the key. The Stoics believed in the power of habits, knowing that repetition creates character. If you practice your routine daily, it becomes a principle you live by, something that grounds you even when life feels turbulent. Reflect. What will your routine look like? Think about the routines you've tried before. What worked? What didn't? How will you adjust your schedule in 2025 to better reflect your priorities? Share your thoughts in the comments. By sharing your routine with others, you not only solidify your commitment, but also inspire our community to craft their own. Now that we have structured our days, let us move toward a deeper form of mastery, control over our impulses and vices. 5. Give yourself the order to stop. Conquer your vices and reclaim your freedom. We all have habits that hold us back, whether it's procrastination, unhealthy behaviors, or negative thinking. One of the fundamental teachings of Stoicism is the idea of mastering oneself. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This teaching emphasizes the need to exercise control over our impulses rather than being enslaved by them. The power of a firm decision. The practice of giving yourself the order to stop is about making a definitive decision to change. This is not a gradual shift, but a deliberate and firm command you give to yourself. Take, for example, Dwight D. Eisenhower, who famously gave himself the order to quit smoking after 40 years. His decision was not about negotiation or slow reduction. It was about taking control and ending a habit that no longer served him. Think of an area in your life where you need to assert your will. It could be as simple as cutting back on social media usage, ending a habit that wastes your time, or reframing negative self-talk. When you tell yourself to stop, you are not merely breaking a habit, you are reclaiming your freedom. Why Stoics focus on self-control? In Stoicism, self-control is regarded as a virtue that leads to true freedom. The more we master our impulses, the less we are at the mercy of external circumstances. By giving yourself the order to stop unhealthy behaviors, you are practicing one of the highest forms of self-discipline. It is a declaration of independence from whatever has been holding you back. Take action. What will you stop today? Reflect on a habit or behavior you wish to eliminate. What has kept you from stopping it before? How can you apply the Stoic principle of self-control to make a decisive change in your life? Leave a comment sharing what you will stop, and let this commitment be the first step towards reclaiming your freedom. Having given yourself the order to stop, the next habit involves seeking out those who will elevate your growth. 6. Associate with people who make you better. Surround yourself with the right influences. The company you keep greatly influences who you become. This principle is not only recognized in Stoicism, but across various philosophical and psychological schools of thought. As Seneca wisely said, associate with those who will make a better man of you. The quality of the relationships you cultivate shapes your character and your destiny. Why your social circle matters. In Stoicism, the idea is to surround yourself with people who inspire growth, who challenge you, and who support your journey toward virtue. Ask yourself, are the people in your life helping you become a better version of yourself? Do they encourage you to think deeply, act rightly, and live in accordance with your values? Or do they distract you from your path? Choosing the right influences is akin to planting yourself in fertile soil. When you are surrounded by those who strive for excellence, their behaviors and attitudes will naturally rub off on you. But if you spend time with those who are complacent or negative, you may find yourself adopting similar attitudes. How to cultivate a Stoic circle. Start by evaluating your current relationships. This doesn't mean cutting people out of your life harshly, but rather being mindful of who you allow to have significant influence over your mindset and behavior. Look for friends, mentors, or communities that align with the Stoic values of wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Seek out groups or activities that promote learning and growth. Consider joining a discussion group, book club, or forum where you can exchange ideas about Stoicism and other philosophies. Remember, learning is a lifelong process, and as Seneca noted, we learn as we teach. Engage in conversations that challenge your ideas, broaden your perspective, and encourage self-improvement. Reflect. Who makes you better? Think about the people in your life. Who inspires you to be better? How can you spend more time with those who contribute to your growth? Share your experiences and recommendations for building a supportive community in the comments below. By actively choosing the right company, you can create an environment that nurtures your aspirations. As we continue, let's focus on another powerful aspect of Stoicism, embracing simplicity by saying no to what is unnecessary. 7. Say no to the inessential. Focus on what truly matters. In a world overflowing with distractions, the ability to say no is an essential skill. Marcus Aurelius, who managed the vast complexities of ruling an empire, recognized the power of discernment. He advised, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." In this way, Stoicism encourages us to focus only on what is essential and to disregard the rest. The art of decluttering your life. Saying no is not about rejecting opportunities or being aloof. It is about setting boundaries that allow you to focus on what truly matters. Think about how much time and energy is wasted on activities that don't bring real value to your life. How often do you say yes out of obligation, guilt, or fear of missing out? Start by identifying areas in your life that feel cluttered. These could be physical possessions, commitments, or even relationships. What can you let go of to make room for what is meaningful? The Stoic approach is to live simply, dedicating your time and resources to pursuits that enrich your life. The benefits of a focused life. When you learn to say no to the inessential, you not only free up time, but you also cultivate a sense of inner peace. Your mind is no longer burdened by unnecessary concerns, allowing you to approach your true goals with clarity and determination. This habit aligns with the Stoic belief in living according to nature, focusing on what is within our control and letting go of what is not. Take a moment to reflect. What aspects of your life feel cluttered or overwhelming? How can you practice the art of saying no to make space for what is essential? Leave a comment about one thing you will say no to this year. By sharing your commitment, you reinforce your intention and inspire others to do the same. With the unnecessary distractions removed, we are better equipped to navigate life's rhythm and return to our path when we stumble. 8. Come back to rhythm. Embrace the process of falling and rising again. Life is not a straight path, and no matter how disciplined we are, there will be times when we stray from our course. Marcus Aurelius recognized the inevitability of setbacks, writing, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The Stoic approach to life is not about avoiding mistakes, but learning to rise each time we fall. Resilience through Stoicism. Returning to rhythm means accepting our imperfections and understanding that mistakes are a natural part of growth. When we stumble, it is not the end of the journey, but an opportunity to demonstrate resilience. Rather than berating yourself for failures, practice self-compassion and gently guide yourself back to your routine. This is how you build the habit of persistence, turning every setback into a step forward. The power of small corrections. When you fall out of rhythm, the key is to make small, manageable adjustments to get back on track. Instead of trying to overhaul everything at once, focus on one small change that can restore your balance. For instance, if you've neglected your exercise routine, start with a brief walk instead of attempting a full workout. Each small step you take is a victory that reinforces the habit of returning to your path. Reflect on your journey. What setbacks did you face last year, and how did you respond? How will you approach these moments differently in 2025? Reflect on the ways you can come back to your rhythm when life gets off course. Share your experiences in the comments and let us learn from one another how to better navigate our journeys. Let's now turn our attention to the foundation of Stoic practice, small actions that lead to great transformations. 9. Start small. The journey begins with a single step. The Stoic philosophy teaches that grand achievements are built on the foundation of small, consistent efforts. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, observed, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but it is no small thing." The idea here is to focus on modest actions that accumulate over time to bring about profound change. Why small habits matter. Starting small might seem insignificant at first, but it is one of the most effective ways to build lasting habits. Think of it as planting a seed. It doesn't grow into a tree overnight, but with consistent nurturing, it eventually becomes something magnificent. When you commit to small actions, you set yourself up for success by creating momentum. For example, if you aim to read more, start by reading 1 page a day. It may seem trivial, but over time, this small effort becomes a significant habit. Atomic habits and Stoic wisdom. James Clear's concept of atomic habits aligns closely with the principles of Stoicism. The smallest unit of action, like an atom, holds immense potential for change. It is not about making grand gestures, but about establishing a foundation of small victories that, when accumulated, lead to a transformation. By starting small, you avoid the trap of overwhelm and gradually build the discipline required for more significant changes. Reflect. What small steps will you take? Identify one small action you can take today that aligns with your goals for 2025. Share your commitment in the comments, and let's encourage each other to embrace the power of starting small. Remember, even the longest journey begins with a single step. As we come to our final habit, we return to the inner realm of the mind, focusing on conquering anxiety. 10. Stop letting anxiety rule over you. You have power over your mind. Anxiety is a universal experience, but it doesn't have to dominate our lives. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Today I escaped from anxiety," or no, I discarded it because it was within me. This insight points to the Stoic belief that anxiety is not caused by external events, but by our interpretation of them. How Stoicism helps manage anxiety. In Stoicism, the focus is on distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. Anxiety often arises from worrying about things we cannot influence, creating a cycle of stress and helplessness. The Stoic approach is to redirect your attention to what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Practice mindfulness by grounding yourself in the present moment. Ask yourself, is this anxiety based on reality, or is it a product of my fears? More often than not, you will find that your worries are about what might happen, not what is actually happening. Practical steps to overcome anxiety. Take a moment to breathe and center yourself. Practice meditation or journaling as a way to quiet the mind and reflect on your thoughts. Challenge your worries by questioning their validity. Are you making mountains out of molehills? What can you do right now to alleviate your concerns? Reflect on your own anxiety. What are the main sources of anxiety in your life? How will you use Stoic principles to manage them in 2025? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's support each other in our journey toward a more tranquil and fearless life. As we close this exploration of Stoic habits for 2025, remember that Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life. The 10 habits we've discussed are more than mere suggestions. They are guiding principles that, when practiced daily, can transform your life. So, which habit resonated with you the most? How will you apply Stoic principles in your daily routine? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content on Stoicism and personal growth. Together, we can continue exploring the path of virtue, resilience, and inner peace. Thank you for watching, and may 2025 be a year of profound transformation for you. Keep practicing these Stoic habits, and may you grow stronger with every step on your journey. Stay committed, stay resilient, and live virtuously.